Okay, dear students, this is actually the second part of our UV visible spectroscopy introduction. This is also known as electronic spectroscopy, and today I am going to tell you about a very important principle called Franck-Condon principle. So this is actually applicable for the diatomic molecules. Okay, so before I am going to this Franck-Condon principle, I can tell you about the Born-Oppenheimer approximation. Actually, I told you this thing earlier. Born-Oppenheimer approximation. Okay, already I told you about this thing. So according to Born-Oppenheimer approximation, this E total, that is the total energy is equal to E rotation plus E vibration plus E translation plus E what? Finally, it is E electronic. Okay, so you know this thing actually, because we already studied about all these things. E translational, you know that there is no translational spectroscopy. E electronic is coming here. Okay, so E rotational spectroscopy and vibration spectroscopy also we discussed, and E translation spectroscopy and E electronic spectroscopy. Okay, so totally it is the sum of total energy is a sum of all these things. And also you can note that this E electronic is very much greater than this E vibration energy, and it is also greater than the E rotational energy. That means these energies are actually independent to each other. Okay, so I can just draw you a diagram related to this E rotation, E vibration and E electronic. So E translation actually we are not considering, because you see there is no E translational spectroscopy is not there, because translational energy levels are equally very continuously spaced, and there is no translational spectroscopy. So we can talk about this E rotational, E vibrational and E electronic. Okay, so when you are drawing the diagram, the energy level diagram, so this is the energy and potential energy diagram, and you can see that I am just fixing this as the E1, that is the E electronic energy level E1, and another one is the excited level E2. Okay, and just fixing like this. So let this one is the electronic energy levels like this, and here is the another electronic energy level. Okay, so this is the ground state, this is a ground state energy level, and this is the excited state energy level. So okay, so this is the first level, and this is the second level, maybe some higher level. So I am drawing, so in between E1, you can see the vibrational energy levels, vibration. E2 also you can see the vibrational energy levels. Okay, so these are vibrational energy levels. So this is the E1 level, and this is the E2 level, and in between you can see these things. Okay, these are actually the vibrational energy levels. So in between you can see the rotational energy levels. Okay, in between you can see the rotational energy levels. So these are all rotational energy levels. So translation I am not marking because it is continuous, I told you, so I am not marking this one. Okay, so you see the difference between all these energy levels. Okay, so your electronic level is high difference actually. So here also just for I am just marking the vibrational energy levels, vibrational energy levels and rotational energy levels. Okay, so this green is this rotational energy level, this green is the vibrational energy level. Okay, so one electronic transition is happening means what? Okay, so we are talking about the UV visible spectroscopy or the electronic spectroscopy. So one electronic transition happening means what? Okay, so by rotational level we are not considering. Suppose we are considering the vibrational level. Suppose one transition is happening like this. Okay, like this. That means what happened here? This E1 level, that's this level, ground level to excited level. This can be considered as a ground level, and this can be considered as a excited level. So from the ground level vibrational state to second, that means the excited state vibrational level, this excitation happened. Okay, so like this you can represent the electronic transition, and you see the electronic vibrational levels. Okay, so this is the first vibrational level, electronic level, and this is the second electronic level, and you can see that a very high energy is needed for the electronic transition. So electrons are undergo transition from the ground level to excited state. So it needs more energy. So that is why we are using the UV visible radiation for the excitation. Okay, so this thing you please understand, that is this E electronic state is very much greater than E vibration, and also with respect to E rotation. That means all these energies are very independent. So that means by using some instrumental methods of analysis you can detect individually all these type of vibrations, all these type of transitions. Okay, even it is molecular or electronic transition. So this is our Born-Oppenheimer approximation. So one more thing I can add in Born-Oppenheimer approximation, it is that suppose you are considering the electronic transition. That is very important, I am telling you. So here in UV visible spectroscopy this transition is very important, that is known as the electronic transition. So I told you that electronic transition is happening from one vibrational level to this level. Okay, this is actually known as the vibronic coupling. Okay, so in this rotational state also maybe it is happening, but it is very small compared to the vibrational energy changes. So always we are detectable level you can explain this vibrational spectroscope, vibronic coupling. It is known as the vibronic coupling. Okay, so electronic transition, when you are talking about the electronic transition, what is happening there? Okay, so you already studied about rotational spectroscopy. And vibrational spectroscopy, and now you are going to study about the electronic spectroscopy. What is the main difference between all these things? Okay, rotational spectroscopy, what is the important condition in rotational spectroscopy? Rotational spectroscopy condition is there should be permanent dipole moment. On the molecule. Okay, so one molecule which showing rotational spectroscopy means there should be a permanent dipole moment. So what about vibrational spectroscopy? Already we studied there should be there should be dipole moment change during the vibration. Okay, so there should be the mu is the dipole moment change during the vibration. That's about this rotational spectroscopy and vibrational spectroscopy. Now you can check what is the condition in electronic spectroscopy. I told you that electronic spectroscopy is actually it is also known as UV visible spectroscopy. It is based on the transition of electrons. So during the transition of electrons, what happens? Okay, I can tell you that electronic spectroscopy is applicable for all the molecules. That means all the molecules will show electronic spectroscopy. That means that is the UV visible spectroscopy. So why this all type of molecules will show the electronic spectroscopy? So now you can find the answer. It's very simple actually. So that means electronic distribution changes during the electronic transfer. Some electronic transfer occurs from this lower level to high level, means the electronic configuration of the all system will change. That means what? Electronic configuration change means there will be some dipole moment change. It is actually electronic transition is always accompanied by a dipole moment change. That means from one level to other level electronic transition occurs. Means this configuration will affect. That means you know that electron has a negative charge. So normally there will be a dipole induced dipole moment. That means the dipole moment will change during the electronic transition. So that is why you have this electronic spectroscopy. Okay, then I will specifically I am going to tell you about the diatomic molecule. What happens in the case of a diatomic molecule where this Frank quantum principle is coming. Okay, so this is the Born-Oppenheimer approximation. So there you can see that all the energy levels, okay, the electronic vibration, rotation, all these energy levels are very different, and also they are completely independent. Means what? Their energy level difference is very different. So that is why we can consider the spectroscopic measurements individually. Okay, so now next I am going to give you some idea about the Frank quantum principle. So especially I will talk you about the diatomic molecules. What happens in the case of a diatomic molecules? Then I think gradually we will go to the polyatomic molecules. What happens in the case of a polyatomic molecules? So first I will take the case of a diatomic molecule. Then after that we will explain about the polyatomic molecules. So in electronic spectroscopy or the UV visible spectroscopy, this Frank quantum principle is very important. When you are studying about Frank, that is the diatomic molecules, every time you can meet the Frank quantum principle. So according to the Frank quantum principle only, the electronic transition is taking place. So let me explain the Frank quantum principle. So I can write here, this is actually meant for the diatomic molecule. Okay, for the diatomic molecule, so this Frank quantum principle is highly applicable. Okay, so I can tell you that last time I told you about this Born-Oppenheimer approximation. there I can tell you that all the energies are independent. That means the E rotation, E vibration and E electronic are independent. Okay, suppose you are considering a diatomic molecule, so like this. Okay, I told you that the electronic state, electronic transition is happening from one vibrational state of the E ground. That means electronic state consists of this vibrational and rotational state, you know that. So some vibration state is happening from the the E1, that's E ground state of the vibration to the E excited state. Means what happens, we will discuss. So we will discuss specially in the case of a diatomic molecule. That means the molecule is vibrating like this and the electronic transition is taking place. Okay, so you know that electronic transition is very fast. That means the Born-Oppenheimer approximation told you that this nucleus is very massive compared to the electron. That means the electronic electron transition is very fast and it will shuttle many times when just vibration happens. That means the for a diatomic molecule it will not get time to change its internuclear distance during an electronic transition. That means electronic transition is very fast compared to the vibrational change. That means internuclear distance of a particular diatomic molecule cannot change appreciably during an electronic transition. That is known as the Frank-Condon principle. So I can explain you with a neat diagram like this. So I am just drawing a ground vibrational state like this. So this is your E ground state and this is your E excited state. So excited state, you see I am just drawing like this, some little bit change in the internuclear distance. This axis is the bond length. That means the equilibrium bond length, or it is also known as the equilibrium internuclear distance. Here you can see the vibrational states like this. Here also you can represent the vibrational state like this. And one more thing I can add you that according to the quantum mechanical concept, so here the probability of finding electrons is normally represented like this. That means what? Some electrons, the electrons has a feature that it will tunnel through the potential barrier. So what is the potential barrier here? Here the potential barrier is the parabola. Okay, so electrons, so for second state wave function, if you are drawing like this, means it will be coming like this. That means at the edge portion the electrons will be crossing. Okay, so that is known as the quantum tunneling effect. So the next level you see like this. Okay, so next level also you can see like this. So here also you can represent it like this. Okay, so that means this is due to the tunneling phenomena, quantum mechanical tunneling. Okay, quantum mechanical tunneling. So we can come to our subject, that is the Frank-Condon principle. So I told you that during the electronic transition, the diatomic molecule cannot change its internuclear distance appreciably. That means electronic transition is very fast. It will shuttle many times when just a vibration happens. Okay, so that according to the Frank-Condon principle, an electronic transition should be represented as a straight line. Coming from the bottom, that means the ground state. Suppose you are representing like this, means you have to express it in straight line. Okay, so what is this vibrational level? This is V is equal to 0, V is equal to 1, V is equal to 2, V is equal to 2, like that. Here also V is equal to 0, V is equal to 1, V is equal to 2, V is equal to 3, like that it is going. Okay, it is going. Okay, so now can you express like this? Suppose I am drawing like this. Okay, you see, V is equal to 0. That means the ground state to this level. Okay, 0 to 0, 0 to 0. It will not happen. Why it is not happen? So because the internuclear distance is changed. That means, so within the molecule, that means within this ground state, the molecule is vibrating, but very fastly the electronic transition is taking place. It will come and down very fastly many times if you just attempting for a vibration. That means you should express it in vertically. That means the internuclear distance, here it is internuclear distance, and same distance you can see here. That is the Franck-Condon principle. But that same distance you cannot see here. This is the internuclear distance here, but the internuclear distance is changing here. That is not possible. That is our Franck-Condon principle. So Franck-Condon principle is saying that the electronic transition is very fast. Electrons are very light compared to the nucleus. So in the case of a diatomic molecule, nucleus is very heavy compared to the electron. That means electronic transition is taking place many times compared to the one vibrational change. That means the vibrating molecule does not change its internuclear distance appreciably during an electronic transition. That is why you are expressing the electronic transition as a straight line. That is the Franck-Condon principle. So related to that, I can explain you some more different cases of this Franck-Condon principle. So I can explain you one hypothetical case where the in equilibrium internuclear distance of ground state is similar to the excited state. So I will draw there. I will explain some 3 to 4 cases of the Franck-Condon principle. So what I am explaining you just now is actually an hypothetical case. So I will explain one hypothetical case first. This is your energy, and this is your bond length or the internuclear distance, equilibrium internuclear distance. Okay, suppose I am drawing like this. So this is the first electronic state, that is the E1 vibrational state of the first electronic state, and I am keeping the same vibrational state here, same type vibrational state here. Okay, so you can draw the energy levels like this, Okay, so here V is equal to 0, 1, 2, V is equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. Okay, so here I am just representing the equilibrium internuclear distance of the E excited and E ground state is similar. Okay, similar. So I can draw here as the same equilibrium internuclear distance between the ground state and excited state. So please don't confuse with the ground state and excited state. I am talking the same internuclear distance here. So this is an hypothetical case. Normally it will not happen because excited state you can expect some change in the internuclear distance. But according to the Franck-Condon principle, you have to represent the electronic transition as a straight line. Okay, that is very important, as a straight line. So as a straight line I am expressing here. I told you that this is electronic distribution, all these things you can express here. So as a straight line, if you represent like this, means it will reach 0 to 0. So this is actually the resulting spectra will be like this. You will be getting an indents line at the 0 0 transition, and other transition can also take place. What are the other transitions? 0 to 1 and 0 to 2. So 0 to 1, 0 to 1 actually represented by like this 1 0. 1 0 means first we will write the excited state, and second we will represent the ground state. So you will be getting, sorry, this is also different. This is 2 0, 1 0, 1 0 and 1 0 and 2 0, 1 0 and 2 0. So most intense spectra is, most intense line is 0 to 0. If it is same, that means the excited state, electronic state is similar to the E ground state. If it is same, you can expect the same 0 to 0 as the intense line. But I will show you some more cases like this. One is your excited state. This is your ground state level vibrational state, and your excited state has compared to this one, ground state, excited state has small internuclear distance, because this is the bond length. This is the bond length. Okay, this is your vibrational state. V is equal to 0 1 2, V is equal to 0 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, like this. So here what you can see, the excited state internuclear distance is small, is small internuclear distance for the excited state, internuclear distance for the excited state. So how the electronic transition will happen, we will see. Okay, electronics, according to the Frank quantum principle, you have to express it vertically. Okay, suppose you draw it vertically, it will reach somewhere here. Okay, that means I already told you that the wave function difference. So 0 to 2 transition, 0 to 2, that's a 1 2 0 transition is very high intense here. Suppose you just draw the intensity, the first one, that is the 2 0 transition. 2 0 transition is very high intense, then comes the 1 0, then comes the 0 0 in this case. Okay, so what is happened here? Here it is same internuclear distance, internuclear distance of the excited state is same as the ground state. Here it is small. Okay, if it is bigger also you can consider. Okay, if it is bigger, that means I will draw here. Suppose this is the ground state, this is the ground state, you can see this is the ground state, and excited state, I told you it is a bigger internuclear distance, bigger internuclear distance. Somewhere it is like this. You can see the V is equal to 0, V is equal to 1, V is equal to 1, V is equal to 2, like that. V is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, so this is your first 0 to 0. But according to the Frank quantum principle, so you have to express the electronic transition as a straight line, because appreciably very low internuclear distance change is happening during the electronic transition. So you have to express in straight line. So what happens? Oh, you see, when you are expressing like this, means what happens? You will be getting some intense lines, and also you will be expressing some lines like this, and finally you will be getting a continuum. That means when you are going to a very high internuclear distance is, you will be getting a continuum. Okay, so in between also you can consider, this is a small one, this is the same one, this is a bigger one, and in between also you can consider that I will draw here, in a small curve I will draw here. So this is the one, and suppose there is small change in the internuclear distance like this. Okay, small change in the internuclear. Every time you have to express it in a straight line. Okay, suppose you are coming like this straight line, you express like this, means what? This is 0, 1, 2, etc. This is 0, 1, 2, etc. So the graph, what will be the intensity of this particular graph? This one 0 to 1, that means 1 0 will be very high and 0 0 will be very slow. Like that you can represent. That means always your electronic transition of the diatomic, in the case of diatomic molecule, electronic transition can be represented as a straight line because of what? Electronic transition is very fast compared to the nuclear movement. Okay, so please don't confuse it with the excited state and ground state equilibrium internuclear distance. That is different. I am talking about this type of vibration, that is the vibration in the ground state or excited state. In this case, suppose a electronic transition happening, means the vibration, the molecular vibration will get no time. That means electrons will shuttle for many times when just vibration happens, because nucleus is very massive compared to electrons. That is why we are expressing this electronic transition as a straight line. That is actually the Frank quantum principle, and you can see that this Frank quantum principle will tell you about the intensity of different lines. I will explain you already. I think I told you that about the diatomic molecules. In the case of diatomic molecule, you are getting a spectra like this, maybe something like this. So this may be 2-0 line or something, some intense lines also you are getting. Okay, so next video I will tell you about the polyatomic molecule. This is about the diatomic molecule where the Frank quantum principle is applicable more. So please read about this in the case Frank quantum principle. In spectroscopy by Banwell you will get more information, and further information about these polyatomic molecules I will give you later. Okay, thank you.